Lesson 4.3D, solve equations with variables on each side. So we're going to add a step to solving our equations. We've been doing two-step equations, but this time we're going to end up having a variable on each side of the equal sign, and you have to move that together first before you end up with a two-step equation. So what I want you to do is add to what's there at the top by saying that you move the smallest variable to the other side. So you move the smallest variable to the other side and then solve your two-step equation. Then solve the two-step equation. Okay, so that doesn't look very good right there, but it's two-step equation. I'm going to go down to, they've got some problems that say, write an equation that's equivalent. I kind of just want to go down to where we're solving in a problem like number 3 is a very typical problem. So let's look at that. I'm going to go down to number 3. Example 3. It says solve 3x minus 16 equals 5x minus 4. Now I will tell you one thing they do differently than me is they write their subtraction in the same line. They don't write it below it and then draw a line and bring everything below it, but we'll kind of get the idea here. So if you're looking at this, 3x minus 16 equals 5x minus 4, the variable that's the smallest, you're comparing 3x with 5x. And definitely 3x is the smaller. So to move 3x to the other side, you would end up subtracting 3x from each side. You have to move your 3x over here. So you subtract 3x from 3x and it goes away on the left. And then 5x minus 3x becomes 2x. This problem right here is now a two-step equation that we've been solving for a couple of days now. You see that? It's got an x on the right. You move your 4 over and solve it. So that's kind of the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the bottom. These directions that are right here, I don't want us to do that. We're just going to solve these. We're just going to solve these, and we're going to use all of these as examples. I'm going to try to do as many as I can because I think it would be good for us. So the thing is, it takes a little space. So I'm going to write them off to the side. So we're going to do number 1 first. And I'm going to put negative 11 plus x equals 13 minus x. So if I look at my two variables, I've got an x and a negative x, which means I have a 1 and a negative 1 for coefficients. Which one's smaller?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. So the one that has the negative in front of it is the one that I'm going to move. So to make this go over here, I would add x. So you're going to add x underneath the minus x, and you're going to add x under the x on the other side, because whatever you do to one side of an equation, you got to do both. So I'm going to add 1x to each side. Then I'm going to draw a line. This is how I do it a little bit differently than what they're showing. On the right, these x's go away. We made that happen. Below my line, I bring down what I have from left to right. So I start with negative 11, x plus x. It's really 1x plus 1x, which is what? 2x plus 2x equals 13. And now this is a two-step equation that we've been doing. My x is on the left. I'm going to deal with the number over there, which is negative 11. How do I make negative 11 go to the right, Dylan?
Add 11.
Add 11. So let's add 11 on both sides. So 2x equals 24. And now we're to a one-step equation, right? There's just one thing left. Divide by 2, and x equals 12. So basically what you're doing is moving the smallest variable to the other side. Once you move that smallest variable to the other side, you're left with a two-step equation that we've been doing. So you proceed to solve it, and you should be fine. But you got to do those same steps every time. Are there any questions about that example that I just did? Andrew?
But if x equals 12, wouldn't 12 plus negative 11 equal 1?
Yeah, and then on the right, what's 13 minus 12?
1.
So doesn't 1 equal 1?
Wait, 13 minus 12, maybe 2.
13 minus 12, it's 1.
Oh, I said 11. Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd both be 1. Yes, if we checked it and plugged it back in, you're right. They'd both be 1. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at example 2. We're going to try to do all 5 of these, okay? We're going to try to do all 5 of these. So 10 plus 2x equals 7x plus 3. Does somebody want to try this one yet, or do you want me to do it? You? Okay, after this one, you guys are going to have to help me then, okay? I'll let you off the hook this one yet. So I look at my two x's, 2x and 7x. The smallest of my x's is 2. To make it move over, I would subtract 2x here under the 2x and here under the 7x and draw my line. The 2x minus the 2x is completely gone. We wanted that to happen. Below the line from left to right, I've got 10 equal sign, 7x minus 2x is 5x plus 3. Okay, if my 5x is on the right, my numbers have to go to the left, correct? So I need to subtract 3. The 3 minus 3 is gone. So 7 equals 5x. What's the last step always?
Divide by.
Divide. And x equals, okay, 7/5. Remember, you have to change that to a mixed number. 5 goes in there 1 full time
1 and 2/5.
with 2 left over. So 1 and 2/5 equals x. Questions about that? I know it's something completely different you haven't done, but you follow the same steps every time. You move the smallest variable first, then your two-step equation would follow from that. Move your number to the other side and divide. Questions about that problem? All right, let's look at number 3. So here's number 3. 2x plus 6 equals x plus 15. Who's doing it? Dylan? 2x or x? Which one's the smallest?
X.
So how do I move it to the other side?
We have to minus x.
Minus x there, minus x there. Mark the ones on the right out. So below the line, Dylan, from left to right. 2x minus x.
2x.
2 minus 1.
Oh. 1x.
1x, and I'm just going to write x. Plus 6 equals, what do I put on the right?
15.
Just 15. This is actually one step left. That doesn't happen a lot, but what happened this time? So Dylan, how do I get x alone now?
15 minus 6.
Yep, I'm going to subtract 6 from each side. And 15 minus 6 is
9.
9. So x equals 9. What do you think? That one we got by with one less step because there was no coefficient then in front of x once we subtracted. Okay, questions about that? Caden? Oh, questions about that one? All right, let's look at number 4. 3x minus 2 equals 8x minus 32. Okay, Emily, which one's smaller, 3x or 8x?
3x.
How do I move 3x?
What did it be plus?
Okay, we need, so if I have 3x there and I add 3 more x to it, does that make it go away? 3x plus, no, so minus 3x. Because that's a positive 3x sitting there, so I got to subtract 3x from it. Okay, so these two are now gone. 3x minus 3x, gone. What do I have below the line now, Emily?
2.
Okay, and there's a minus in front of that too, so
Negative 2.
yes, be very careful right there. That's a place that's easy to make a mistake. Negative 2 equals 8x minus 3x. 5x minus 32. And I've got my x on the right, so now I got to bring my numbers, my constants to the left.
So the minus 2.
How am I going to bring my negative 32 over?
You'll have to add it.
Add it. So add 32 here and here. Those go away. Now, Emily, I'm 2 in the hole, but I'm gaining 32.
So you'll be
30 equals 5x. And what's the last step, Emily?
2, 5 over 5, and then 30 over 5.
Yep, divide both sides by 5 so that x equals what? What's 30 divided by 5?
6.
6. X equals 6. Questions about that? We're almost done. Questions about that? Okay, so one more. Negative 12 minus x equals 8 minus 3x. Okay, Caden Baker, what's smaller, negative 1x or negative 3x?
Negative 1.
That's smaller than negative 3?
No.
Which one's smaller, negative 3 or negative 1? Which one's further to the left on that number line? Negative 3. So how do I move negative 3x to the other side? Add 3x. Add 3x. Okay, now these two cancel out. What's left down below the line? Left to right, what do I bring down? Negative 12. Now this is negative 1x plus 3x. So I'm in the whole 1, but I gained 3. Plus 2x equals 8. So my x is on the left. How do I bring my number to the right? What constant's there with 2x? I've
X on the left.
because we added 3x to each side. There was negative 1 and negative 3x. The smallest is negative 3x. So when you add 3x to each side, it becomes positive 2x. Dylan, what's wrong?
Isn't the 3x, isn't that positive?
I'm doing number 5 at the bottom, and it looks like it's negative.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be not -2, not +2?
Okay, hold on. So